If you've ever scrolled on social media, you may have already come across the words of Yung Pueblo. Diego Perez is the poet behind the pen name, inspiring readers with wisdom like, realize how short the walk is from gratitude to happiness, and manage your reactions, but do not suppress your emotions. Since he first began sharing his words of wisdom in 2014, Yung Pueblo has connected with over 2 million followers and has written 2 New York Times best-selling books of poetry on topics like self-love, growth, and relationships. When you first started posting your writing, what was your intent?
I wanted to write about healing being possible. Just hopefully inspire someone else out there who also needed to find a way to heal themselves.
Diego and his family emigrated from Ecuador to Boston, Massachusetts when he was 4 years old.
My mom, she worked cleaning houses. My dad worked at a supermarket, so we were really stuck in a poverty trap. And then I think a lot of that tension just got embedded inside of me as well. When I got to college, I could not deal with any tension that was coming up inside of me. I would quickly try to hide it with drugs, with smoking, with going to more parties.
What was the breaking point for you?
It was right after college. This time I pushed my body to the edge, and I took, an assortment of different drugs. I felt like my heart was going to explode. I ended up talking to a doctor after that episode, and she told me what I described to her sounded like a mild heart attack.
How has being first-generation American affect your overall outlook of life, especially in that point?
The first thought is my parents. I saw the immense sacrifice that they made to just give us the chance at a better opportunity. I felt like I was giving all of that up by just filling myself with more and more pleasure just so that I could run away from my pain. I knew that the only way out was to start telling myself the truth.
In 2011, Diego started taking small steps toward building positive habits. These improvements eventually led him to daily meditation.
So the meditation has given me a way to process these really tough emotions. And when something challenging happens, I notice that I can feel my reaction, but it's not as overwhelming as it used to be.
And meditation gave you the clarity and creativity to write and share.
Definitely. I mean, I was never creative before meditating. And I didn't go into meditating to become more creative. When the mind becomes lighter and it's not as burdened by past hurt that you carry, this creativity bubbles up.
Diego's poems have been liked and shared thousands of times. And in his newest book, titled Lighter, Diego shares his own journey and advice on how to achieve personal transformation. What do you hope is the biggest takeaway for people who come to you and look to your words?
I hope they take away inspiration. It's really possible to transform your life. It's really possible to sort of take that big leap forward in your own evolution.
Wow, he makes it so possible and concrete in this book. I'm telling you, if you haven't gone on an introspective journey yet, now is the time. Yeah. Do it, read it. I'm telling you, it will change.
We're back with best-selling author and poet Diego Perez, who goes by the pen name Yung Pueblo. You've probably seen him on Instagram. Well, he's got a new book out, and it is called Lighter. We just saw that amazing piece with you, Diego, and one of the things that struck us was you said you didn't realize you were creative until you had till you meditated and had a chance to kind of clear all the muck out from your brain so you could let it out.
Totally. I had no idea. I never saw myself as a creative person, but honestly, after I did about 3 silent 10-day courses, I felt that creativity bubbling up. And I felt my intuition really telling me, it's time to write. Even though you're not fully healed, even though you're not fully wise, you have a long way to go, but just write about healing being possible, because I noticed the significant differences in my mind.
It's so interesting because so many of us are kind of covering pain.
Yeah.
And I love that you have said it's okay to feel. It's okay to have those emotions, and if you have to. Do you remember, what you used to do, the before, and when you felt?
Before? I mean, as soon as I would feel that tension, whether it was some type of fear or some type of anxiety, I would try to go smoke as quickly as possible, whether it was like a cigarette or smoke marijuana or just try to cover up my sensations, basically, in some way or another.
Wow. Jenna and I love your quotes, and we'll just share a couple of them and just maybe talk a little bit about them, because when I look at you, I know people at home are going, well, I want to feel creative. Yeah. I want to feel calm. Is it possible for people to feel what you're feeling, to have that clarity?
Yes, I don't think it's unique to me at all. I think it's something that anyone can do, and that creativity shows up for people in different ways. So, like, whether you're a presenter, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an engineer, if you start deeply healing your mind and really allowing that unconditioning to happen, because we carry so much within ourselves. Yeah. If you start allowing that to burn away through some process or another, then you're going to notice a burst of creativity happening in your life.
Okay, we're going to share some of our favorites. I feel like this one, maybe Hoda sent to me recently. She texted me. Yeah. It's a really nice way to wake up with a text from you and via Hoda. The undeniable radiance of someone who is not afraid to grow, to be free, and thrive.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that it's pretty common. When people start deeply healing themselves, they radiate in a different way. Like, they're able to just come in contact with how they actually want to show up in the world, as opposed to how their past wants them to show up. Because that's often what happens, is that something difficult, a difficult situation arises, and your old self will want to show up, as opposed to how you want to intentionally show up in the present.
You know what's funny? There was a woman who was just on with Andrew Lloyd Webber, and she walked through, and she was like, hey, I just want to say something to you. And she looked at me, and she said, I just want to let you know I've been thinking about you and praying for you. And as I looked at her, I felt like this incredible moment. And it was something that wasn't concrete. I didn't know her well. It was that. It was like she was alive. She had something inside of her that was like luminous to me. And I was still dazzled. When she left, I was like, wait, where are you going? Because she had to leave. It was time to go. But people do give that off. Here's one that we like too. Maturity is knowing that when your mood is down, you should not trust the way you see yourself. Yes. Like, it's a bad moment.
Yeah,
not a bad life.
That's a really important one, because as soon as your mood goes down and your emotions feel heavy, you'll want to just jump into self-critique, and you'll start telling yourself things that are totally untrue, like you haven't actually gotten that far, or you're just like sort of building this narrative that isn't based on reality at all. So I try to, tell myself and tell other people, when your mind feels heavy, just pause. Just pause. Focus on treating yourself gently. And when you actually feel better, that's when you want to take a step back and do some self-analysis, right? And don't examine yourself from now to yesterday, right? That's not a good scope of who you are. Examine yourself from when you began to where you are now.
I think when we watched that piece with you and we saw the pictures of you as a little boy, you talked about sort of this pressure to be successful for your parents, not fail. Was that kind of what weighed on you? And what do your parents think about this incredible man that you've become?
Yeah, I think it was hard. It was hard seeing my parents go through this immense challenge of trying to keep our family afloat. And we were just, like I said before, we were stuck in a poverty trap. And it was quite difficult for us to come out of it until I became older, until my brother became older, my little sister, and now we can support ourselves, help our parents as well. And I think my parents are they're really grateful that the gamble paid off for all three of us. Because coming to the United States, it's it's a bit of a risk, but it worked out for us.
Well, I have your book by my bedside. It's one of those you can open up, read one beautiful line, and go to sleep, and sleep really well. So
she actually goes to bed with your words in her head every night.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they make her feel lighter.
That's a big honor.
Big for me, too. Thank you.
And they make her feel lighter. And I think if you want that light, it's here.
And you got to get the book, Lighter. And also, your other two books are amazing. I like all three. But get this one because it's new. All right. There's more with Diego after the show. Go to Hoda and Jenna's Instagram, our page, where he's hanging out with Donna. He's going to answer some questions on Instagram Live. That's at 11:15 Eastern. Also, don't forget to check out his new book, Lighter. Head to today.com/books.
I like that you just talked about yourself in third person.